If you're anything like me, you probably got really excited when you first heard about the free family tree website, Family Search. Now, there's a couple of things I wish I'd known before I started, having been through this painful experience of finding them out, and I want to tell you all about them now. So let's get right into it. The first thing to note is that Family Search can be a complete free-for-all. Because it's free, anyone can add anything, and it just can get very messy very quickly. What this then means is that you can have profiles for your ancestors that are incorrect, and things can get very confusing very quickly thereafter. On top of that, people can also merge these records, so you can get several different people who look to be the same person merged into one profile on the website, and there's no way for reversing that is easy to do. I've made the mistake of actually connecting my great-grandmother to a profile for who I thought was her father, but actually I'm not 100% sure now, and I need to go back and revisit that. And that leads me on to the next point. Don't get too excited about the kinship calculator. Now, on the point about my great-grandmother and connecting her to who I thought was her father, I actually saw then the person who'd added that person was, according to the kinship calculator, my fourth cousin, which I got really excited about, and I contacted them and they were excited too. And then I revisited it. The more I looked at that contributors tree, my fourth cousin, the more skeptical I got. And so I got really excited about the kinship calculator. It's a great tool and it works really well, but it doesn't necessarily work if the data's not right. And in my case, looking for these living relatives on my mum's side of the family, it was a little bit of a blow. So just bear that in mind. Don't make that mistake. Kinship calculator is only as good as the data that's been put in. And if that's shaky, then you may as well discount it altogether. Another thing I wish I'd known is actually that because Family Search is a non-profit organisation and it's run by the Latter-day Saints, the religious denomination in the US, part of their mission is to help people to map their family trees, which is wonderful. What it means is that some of the people who add the records on Family Search are actually working for the church and not in any way related. So you'll see a profile for Family Search staff, which is fine, and that's clear. But there are other people who are members of Family Search with just a normal name, so they look like they might be family members, but really they're just doing it, again, as part of their religious mission. So you can't get too excited when you see names there, and they might not contact you back if you message them. So if you see names for people who you might think are long lost family members, just hold that thought and go and investigate further before you get too excited, like I did, unfortunately, and I had to have a bit of a climb down, and it was a little bit of an emotional letdown as well. And another thing you need to keep in mind about Family Search is because any member can add any details, this often means that the edits that stay on the record are from the last person to edit. So even if you've got perfectly correct information, it might end up being overwritten by someone else who is well-meaning, but perhaps doesn't have the right information. So use Family Search more as a tool for discovery and a bit of mapping, but not as your definitive family tree. I would recommend a paid platform like Find My Past or Ancestry, which I could do more videos on, so check those out as well. But because they're private, nobody's messing with the records, you remain in control. Now check out other videos on this channel for more inspiration. I'm happy researching. See you soon.